Facebook Live for the entire red carpet event that's happening just behind us here. And actually, if we just move and take a look, you'll see that some of the people here from Gander that inspired the story are here on the red carpet already. So we're going to give you a chance to kind of look at everything. You're going to hear some interviews from people, and we also have some celebrities hitting the red carpet as well.
Well, the Gander celebrities are on the red carpet right now. They're all dickied off with their Newfoundland flags, and they're all dressed up in their uniforms, and they're having a ball.
They're having a ball. Yeah, so we have Claude Elliott's in a tux. He's looking good.
Yeah.
There he is. We have lots of Newfoundland flags, lots of Newfoundland insignia. So this is happening just in New York City, in the heart of Broadway. So you won't be able to see the show, but that's okay because we have coverage online, TV and radio.
Yeah, we're going to do a big doc too about this whole week. What an adventure it's been. And yeah, I think everyone should come down and see it while it's on Broadway.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is give you a chance to take a look, see some of the sights, see some of the scenes. Make sure that you add a comment if you have any well wishes. I'm sure that some of the Ganderites and some of the come from aways will be taking a look at this after. So make sure you do leave a comment below, and we'll give you a chance to take a look, and we'll be around for the next hour.
Okay, I'm going to get in under there. Okay, so we can see the writers there, Irene Sankoff and David Hine, all dressed up for their debut night on Broadway. It's not only a big night for the Gander people, it's a big night for this couple, this writing and creative couple from Toronto. This is their first Broadway show, and it's quite an accomplishment. There have only been 5 Canadian musicals that have made it this far, so kudos to them. And they are loved by the Ganderites and surrounded by them, and they've said they wouldn't have been able to do this show without the acceptance and love of everyone from Gander. It's like a big family event here.
All right.
Ooh.
Look at Irene, look at her.
Woo, get a coat on!
Girl, are you freezing?
Get a coat on!
What do you think you are, Canadian or something?
Are you live? Yeah, we're live too. We're live. Do you want to come on this side?
We'd love to.
You can here. Come this way.
Okay, and can I go up and interview people, or do I have to stay back?
I think we have to wait until they open.
Okay.
I've already done half of them already.
Yeah.
How exciting is this?
Who are you doing?
We're at Broadway World.
Oh, you're Broadway. Oh, we got the camera on. What's your name?
Richard Ridge.
Richard Ridge is here with us right now, and Richard's with Broadway World. What is Broadway World?
Broadway World is the biggest theatrical website in the world. We have pages everywhere and sites everywhere. We cover everything on Broadway, and we're all here tonight for this incredible musical, Come From Away. And I was listening to you. There's only 5 Canadian musicals that have made it to Broadway? What are they? Do you remember what they are?
I know the Drowsy Chaperone
Drowsy
was one.
Chaperone, sure.
Billy Bishop.
Billy Bishop.
And that's all I know.
That's good for all the fans out there. That's a good thing. Can you figure them all out? There's 5 of them. I'm fascinated by that. Canadian musicals. That's a really good thing for the fans.
Yeah.
How
this
exciting.
must be old hat for you.
This is old hat for us, but it's cold here today.
It's Canadian.
It's Canadian weather. I mean, just to watch, I got a hat already. Bonnie, the real Bonnie, gave me a hat from Gander. I mean, I saw the show 2 nights ago. This is such an exciting musical. I mean, just to watch the whole story. I mean, we all knew that the planes had landed there, but I didn't really know the whole story. So to watch this all unfold, and then I was asking some of them from there, saying, what is it like watching your life played out by someone who can actually sing?
Yeah.
You know, so it's really exciting for us.
And this combination of documentary and musical theater, how rare is that?
It is very rare. There hasn't been a lot of these types of musicals that sort of take a real story like this, you know, and put it on stage. And what the other amazing thing is that Irene Sankoff and her husband David Hine wrote the book, the music, and the lyrics. Though they wore 3 different hats on this musical, and it's absolutely stunning.
What are their chances of survival in this world, this hyped up world of Broadway?
You mean this musical?
Yes.
Oh, incredible. It's such an incredible musical. It's a feel-good musical, and I think it's something that everybody needs right now. You know, a human heart story. And just the musical tells you so many wonderful things about the human spirit, about dealing with all these different types of people that landed in this small little town. So I want to know what Screech is. I mean, I saw the show, but I'm like, now you're from there, right?
Yes.
All right, so Screech is like this, like alcohol, right?
It's a rum.
It's a rum. Is it really good?
Also used as pain thinner.
All right, paint thinner. I love that. Okay. So you take two shots of that stuff when you're drunk.
2?
2. Okay. And then there's the cod and au gratin.
Kiss the cod, and there's cod au gratin. Yes,
Okay,
it's a
so
fish dish.
have you ever kissed the cod?
I don't have to. I was born in
See,
Newfoundland.
okay. Oh, so when you're born, you don't have to do it. It's only
right.
visitors?
That's right.
Okay, so we're all going to go there. We're going to take Broadway there to Newfoundland. I
You're
want to have
more
the
than
cod,
welcome.
Au gratin. I want to have the Screech, and I want to kiss a cod.
There is Screech in the bar downstairs.
Oh, there is. Okay, I hear this maybe Screech at the party tonight too, right?
Perhaps there will be. Yes.
I love. How excited are you tonight to see everybody on the carpet tonight?
This is an
from Canada?
amazing opportunity for a Newfoundland story
Sure.
to be told in such a venue. It's pretty
Gander's
creative.
really tiny, right?
Yeah, 6,000 people.
Isn't it wild, this small little town, and they help change the world?
Let's hope they can keep changing the world
Oh,
with
I
this
think they're going
message.
to keep changing the world. I said it's got to be a major tourist spot now for people to come and meet everybody. And like I said, have Screech, kiss the cod, and eat the cod au gratin. And I think
you
you
so
and I
much.
got to go to work. Thank you so much. Come to see, come from away.
Great interview.
There's a big tourist area there now. I think it will change it all.
That's so sweet of you to say. My husband got this for me.
It's very great common.
That's what changed to Sept.
Very the great common. It's also got the Salado.
I'm hedging my bets with this new president, so
What's that?
I'm excited to dress the cat.
So if you're just tuning in, you are watching the red carpet Broadway premiere of Come From Away. So who would have thought that Gander and Newfoundland would be on Broadway and you'd be able to see a kitchen party and a Screech Inn and cod au gratin and kissing a fish? Who would have thought that that could possibly happen? But that's where we are right now, just on the red carpet, just passed by all the people from Gander, the show. They inspired the show and the people who came from away, and I'm going to pass this over right now to Angela Antle.
They said they were coming back out to do photos.
Okay, I'll be
need
quick.
To shoot this, but I'm happy to hang out.
Okay. Can you see
Sorry.
us? Okay.
Sorry, is this a very flattering angle? Yeah.
Claire is a producer, an American producer, and works with a very famous guy.
I work with Tom Brokaw, who actually did a documentary on what happened in Gander for the Vancouver Olympics, and it really was the first time that most Americans heard about this story, and I think it was widely seen in both the U.S. and Canada, and I think the writers, Irene and David, said they saw it too, and it really contributed to their understanding of and familiarity with the story and help bring it to life.
All week long, people have been referencing that documentary. It's had huge impact.
It really has. I mean, it was, it took that amount of time to sort of tell the story, and we're so happy that our folks did it back at the time, but I don't think anyone had any idea. I think they're going to make a musical of this, and we were all like, really? How? And they've done it, and it's a great, it's just a great achievement.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
So we're going to get a little bit shaky right now. So this is a live show, so you have to be somewhat forgiving. What you see now are all the people from Gander who inspired the show, holding Newfoundland flags. You see Brian Mosier there, who worked for Rogers TV. He did 12 live shows in the 5 days that the people that come from a ways arrived in Gander. And of course, this is a really big night for them, and who would have thought that they would actually make it to Broadway and see themselves portrayed on Broadway?
Stay where you are.
I know you're frozen.
No, this is just like being home, Angela. This is not cold. Remember, we're tough. We live on the salt water. This is so cool.
You're live right now, and Brian, you're a journalist. You're in the
I'm
media
there.
world, but this must be surreal.
This is beyond words. This is actually, it's unbelievable that I'm here. I'm about to go into a Broadway musical on opening night and look at somebody portraying me on stage. And I gotta tell you, the words are crazy, just like how you're feeling. I think there's a 1/4-inch cushion under my feet right now, and there's not full contact with the sidewalk here.
Do you want to make a shout out to people in Gander?
Hey, Central Morning Show, CBC Radio, Central Morning Show, Melissa, Julia, Dave, Leanne, Chris, Garrett, all the guys. We just got Garrett from you guys and say, yes, guys, listen, I love you all. Look after the office. I'll be back next Monday. But it's really, really cool. Hi to everybody in Gander. If my mom and dad are watching in Corner Brook, hi, I'm here.
What kinds of things have you been doing all week?
Just trying to get my head around everything that's been going on, and the reception here is unreal. It kind of hit home when on the plane a random lady asked us all for autographs, and her plan is to have a business card autographed and actually put it inside the cast album, so she can say she's got, I don't think I've ever been asked for an autograph in my life.
Well, congratulations.
Angela, thanks. It's good to be here. Hey, I'm glad you're here with us.
So are we.
Ariana's here with us. Daryl's here with us. It's that big CBC family. Love you guys.
Thanks.
Okay.
We're going to wait now for Oz Fudge and Beulah to come up, and Bonnie. The American media are talking to them. The Today Show is here, Fox News, The New Yorker magazine, as well as Broadway.com, Broadway World, Vogue.
Did you up, Mariel?
Watching this story played out on Broadway in this gorgeous musical.
Our homes to interview with the story.
You know Angela, I'm sure very well.
I've never seen you in a tux before, Claude. You look fantastic. This is a real red carpet moment, but where's the red carpet?
I know.
This is like, what, how many years leading up to this moment?
Well, I guess it happened in 2001. This is 2017, so it's been 17 years, and it's just amazing, that it was something that is like in a storybook. You know, this is, you're in New York, you're on Broadway, and that's something that we never thought we'd be here after what we, you know, after 9/11. And, you know, when everybody left and went away, our job was done, and we went back to our lives. And you know, here you are, 17 years later on Broadway. It's hard to know what to expect yet, but here so far everything's been fantastic.
Yeah. You had a party at the Canadian Embassy?
And no, not today. That's going to take later on the week for the Wednesday night when the Prime Minister is here. But they had a cocktail reception last night. We met all the investors and that would come from away. So it was certainly good. And you know, the accolades, the excitement that people have about what we've done, that what we thought was just natural to do, is I guess the world is seeing it from a different view than what we see it.
You never know, you might be at the Tonys in June when the Tony Awards are given out.
Well, if I do, I don't know who to thank if I end up on the Tony Awards. But hey, you know, this is, it's not about me personally, it's not about anybody personally. This is about a community, it's about a region, it's about a province that love people, that do anything. And I was glad to be part of that group that helped. And tonight I'm here representing all the people of the town of Gander and surrounding communities, because they all have a story to tell as well as I do. So I'm just so happy to be here to do it on their behalf.
What else have you been doing this week as you've been exploring New York? We keep running into you guys in Times Square and in different places.
Well, the most I've been doing all this week is what I'm doing now, talking to reporters and talking to papers and that. So it's been pretty exciting. You know, you get to meet different people. Tomorrow we're going on tour, do some touring around, and same thing on Tuesday, weather permitting. Yeah. So hopefully over the next couple of days we get to do a little bit of sightseeing, and that. For now, it's all about what's happening tonight, and we're just glad to be part of it.
The message of this play is so timely right now. Do you want to speak to that?
Well, absolutely. I think that our world today is certainly in a state where it needs good news stories. There's no question about that. And I think if we can get out this story about love and compassion, and people are grabbing on to that, because I think they see what the world is like and say, hey, you know, this is something good. This is something that we can do. Hey, there should be more like it. And I think we're changing people's lives. So keep on telling it, keep on showing it, and we're glad to be part of it.
Thank you so much, Mayor Elliott. So we've got the Mayor of Appleton now, Newfoundland. You're being very rowdy on the red carpet.
What's that? It's so exciting, it's so surreal, it's unbelievable. It's hard to think that you can come from small town Newfoundland and be such a part of this amazing story.
What did you do for the people, for the stranded passengers in Appleton? What was it like in Appleton?
Oh, it was crazy. We had people coming at their houses, we had 14 different countries represented and 100 people at our town hall. Everybody came out, offered their houses, offered their rooms. We took people on the Gander River. Once everyone knew that they were safe and sound, we could give them the personal attention, you know, as opposed to some of the schools or the gymnasiums where there was 500 or 600 people. We got to meet them and got to know their family story and got to know the names of their wives. And I brought people together yesterday for the very first time that they met in Appleton for the very first time. From New York, they met in Appleton. Yesterday I brought them together for a dinner, a reception before the reception, and it was the first time they had met since 15 years. Wow. Because they're from different parts of New York and they don't socialize together. And then I brought them to the show last night, and those grown men like me cried like babies. It was just unbelievable. But it's an experience, and hopefully the message of this musical will resonate worldwide. I think what the world needs now is more of this and more love.
Yeah, absolutely. So well said. Thank you. Congratulations. Newfoundland always makes me cry.
And generated so many laughs. His character generated so many laughs in the play.
Yes, absolutely. He was the comedic relief with the barbecue story, the barbecue grill story.
Yeah, which is, if you haven't seen the show, it's a come from away, and he says that these are the only people that help me steal their barbecue so they can have a big cook-up. They just took the barbecues, no questions asked, and that speaks to the kindness of the people from Gander and why this is turned into a musical.
Diane Davis. Come over and show me. I love your scarf.
Thank you very much. That's
Is
something
it
I
Chanel?
made myself. It is. It's actually from Gander, Newfoundland.
Oh, is it? Beautiful.
Yeah.
And you have a Newfoundland bag with you tonight?
I do. I brought some presents for some of the cast members because that's what you're supposed to do. And this is a saltfish bag, handmade in beautiful Fogo Island.
How surreal has this week been for you? That's the word everyone is using.
Oh no, we do this all the time. It's been amazing. It really, to be invited, we never expected any of this at any stage. On 9/11, 10 years later, we got invited to Toronto. When we were invited to Toronto, we never dreamt of being invited to New York. I've got ticket spot. We're coming back next month for 9 days because I'm only going to New York once.
And star in your own Broadway play.
Yeah, but we didn't dream that we would be invited to represent our communities.
So we're live right now to the CBC network. Is there something you'd like to say to some of the other people in Gander who volunteered and gave so much of their time?
Thank you. Every single one of them deserves to be here. I didn't know we were live. The actress that portrays the Beulah character portrays me as a teacher at Gander Academy. Was one of many teachers in one of many schools. She also portrays Beulah Cooper, who is a volunteer at the Service Club at the Legion, one of many volunteers in one of many service clubs in one of many communities. And besides the communities that took passengers, I know Millertown put out a notice and said put non-perishable food items and clean bedding at the end of your driveway and we will collect it. And it was driven for 4 hours to come to Gander and to support the effort of taking care of these people for 4 days. And it just all fell into place beautifully. And we were so lucky to be helpful on those days.
You know, this is such a quintessential Canadian show. It's about kindness, for God's sake. You know, there's no glitz and glamour really in this show. It's great music and everybody, and it's moving and there's a lot of laughs as well. But it's a Canadian message. Be kind to your neighbor.
And everybody's your neighbor. Everybody's your neighbor. You don't question if somebody needs help, you help them. And some of it is maybe a bit of an island attitude because you have to depend on each other because you don't know when you're going to need help. Newfoundland's gone through an amazing blizzard yesterday. We're all worried about everybody home and making sure everybody's okay. But if every one person does the little thing that they can do, it makes a big difference. And sometimes you walk away and go, oh, I should have done that. Go back. And anything you give away, you don't miss. And there's nobody, except for people when their kids came home from university and there was no bedding left in the houses, there's nobody lost anything by helping those people.
Well, look what all you've gained.
Well, on behalf of everybody else, I'm really going to enjoy this.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay. I see Kevin Tourf here. Oh, he's gone. Hi.
Cool. He's just finishing up. I don't know if he's
Sure,
the
I'd love to-
dialect coach.
Okay.
Sorry, and we say sorry. So it's a different sound.
We're going to talk to the dialect coach who taught the actors how to talk like Newfoundlanders. This could be a little bit fun.
Can I give you
Okay, we're switching it up here. It's a live show. So there are plain people here, people who landed in Gander back in 2001. Getting their pictures with the writers. You see now in the pink dress, Irene Sankoff and her husband David Hine is taking the selfie.
Yeah. And what a big day for them too. Talking about the Ganderites and the come from a ways, but what a massive accomplishment for Irene and David. And it's one of 5?
One of 5 Canadian plays to make it to Broadway.
Joel.
Oh, hi, Joel.
Oh, hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm from Newfoundland. You don't have to teach me how to speak like a
Very
Newfoundlander.
good. Where in Newfoundland are you from?
In central Newfoundland, Grand Falls.
Oh, okay.
Some people say there's no accent in Grand Falls.
Well, a lot of people say there's no accent where they come from. I met a guy from the Bronx and he said, no, we didn't have an accent. And then we went into the service, he said, the guys from Brooklyn, they had an accent, but not us.
How did you get into this field of work?
Well, I always loved Monty Python as a kid, and my brother and I memorized tons of their albums. films, and I started to realize that those are different accents they're using. So as an actor, I would always be attracted to dialect roles, tried to do those, and then went through an amazing graduate acting program at UC Irvine with Dudley Knight, where I learned to break accents down systematically and started coaching and teaching from there.
Okay, so what are the main challenges to a Newfoundland accent?
Well, not sounding too very Irish. It's a real temptation for American actors to glom onto some of those sounds and say, oh, I know what this is, but it's not, and there's a little mainland Canada thrown in there as well, so it's tough to find that mix. It was very tricky.
How did you research?
We had the interviews that David and Irene had done with the Ganderites, and so I watched Operation Yellow Ribbon a few times and went online and found samples of other Newfoundlanders. And then late in the run, actually while they were prepping to go to Gander, I had a consultation with a Newfoundland-born dialect coach just to make sure that we were right on point so that we were representing the area well in front of the Ganderites.
Well, you nailed it. I've seen the show and it's awesome. So
thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy the night.
Thank you. You too.
All right, there's all kinds of things happening here on West 44th Street. There's another show across the street. There are shows everywhere, in fact. It's the run-up to the Tony Award nominations, and there are a number of shows that have opened in the last week. So Come From Away is said to be in the running for a Tony Award or two, but stiff competition.
Stiff competition, but if the reaction that Daryl and I, who's behind the camera, that we heard on Friday night, it was incredible. Every single number, people clapped. At the end, massive standing ovation. Of course, the crowd peppered with Newfoundland and Canadian flags, and actually that's what we heard, that has been the case when it's been playing in previews all along, is that there's this big reaction, and not just Canadians and people from Newfoundland and Labrador, who obviously have a special connection to this, but people from the US too, and people from New York who, for a lot of people, they're just learning about this story. Believe it or not, for us, it's something that, it's ingrained in us and we've known about for a long time, but this is a learning experience for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not that well known a story. And the Tom Brokaw documentary that so many people reference, we didn't get a chance to talk to Claire for very long, but they're actually doing another version or a second sort of documentary as a follow-up because of the Broadway show. So more Americans will know about this story pretty soon.
Yeah. And you just heard a big woo. That's from across the street because they're letting people in now. So there's a lot of activity down here today.
They're letting people in, and I think people are signing autographs.
So funny. I was just saying I've coached Benji Platt. And now he's had this success. It's so great.
I would care. Have a great time. Enjoy. Stay with us on the motion. Come from away. I'll be right back. Let me see who else did not read. Now putting these back out again.
Hi.
So tell me your name.
Tom McKeown, M-C-K-E-O-N.
And you landed in Gander from where?
I was coming back from Ireland. I live here, and I was coming back from Ireland after being there for 3 months. And so I was really looking forward to getting home, and had people waiting for me at the airport. And so we didn't even know where, but when we got on the ground, we didn't even know where we were.
How long did you spend in your plane?
We were the second plane on the ground, and we were one of the last planes to empty. And my personal feeling about it, no one ever told me this, was that it was still a tough time in Ireland for politics, and it was an American-based plane, and I think they just looked at our plane a little harder than others, because I couldn't see any reason why we shouldn't have been first or second or third, but we wound up, it had to be 2 in the morning before we got off, and we had gotten on the plane in Dublin at the equivalent of like 6 in the morning, so we were on the plane a long time.
It's still very fresh for you, the details.
Yeah, you're right. It's like, where were you when something happened? Very much so. There were elements of it that when the captain told us what was going on, when we found out what was going on, phone calls to find out what was going on, going to the community center in Appleton where it was shocks to the system of seeing the buildings. We hadn't seen them. You know, we were on the plane and heard rumors, and I don't think anybody could believe it. And then we got to the community center and saw the images almost 24 hours later, and it was just mind-blowing.
What was your experience like in Appleton? Just pretend the mayor's not standing next to you.
You better be good here. You better be good.
I actually stayed in Durham's basement. I was asked to take a shower at somebody's house, and I thought, what the heck what is really going on here? Who is counting my money and trying to stick it in my sock and wondering what was going on? And so finally I got the impression that it was for real. And it wasn't an immediate impression. I really thought, you know, what's up here? And I've always said, it's not that it wouldn't happen here, it just would have a different feel. People would be reaching out, but it would be so diluted in terms of of the impact. Whereas up there was no diluted impact. We walked into stores, people said, yeah, go help yourself. And the scene from the show in here where the Walmart greeter says, welcome to Walmart, my shower is available. And that was the experience that I had.
Plus, I needed some help to move the barbecues in Appleton down to the community center.
Oh, are you
He was the strongest looking fella there, so I said, well, you're the guy that's going to help me steal those barbecues off the people.
Dragging him up the street to the community center and no one caring. The owners of the grills were... that was a part of the unusual thing, was thinking that, you know, someone coming out on their lawn and yelling at you, what are you doing with my grill? But so that was, the experience to this day is unique. And I tell people all the time, I might meet somebody from Vancouver and I'm still like ready to give them a hug and say thank you for the hospitality. It was a shocking time. The show has that effect of, I've talked to people who are really sensitive to the whole day, and they said, I don't see how they could make a musical about it. And they almost see it like selling souvenirs at Ground Zero, but then everybody I know has warmed up to it and saw for what it really is.
It is read differently here, obviously, in New York because the impact of that event here. And we overheard some people walking by the theater the other day saying, oh, I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, I agree. I think people will be quickly. I think it'll find its way into the media, and people will say it's really reaffirming, and it talks about how many good things happened most of the good things that happened that day were about people responding to other people in need, and this certainly was that kind of story. A real incredible thing, from the bus strike and coming, that's well depicted in the show, and just people reaching out. And so it was unusual. I can't say that it wouldn't happen here. It would just be different, a little more jaded, a little more fear about what are you getting yourself into.
Not much reserve when it comes to Newfoundlanders.
Yeah.
We don't even know the meaning of the word reserve.
Yeah.
Come on in, and sit down, have a drink, and have a good time.
Right.
Have a cup of tea, boy.
Right.
And that's what we told them. They were saying, what the hell is going on here?
I tried to learn a little Newfoundland. All I could get was have a cup of tea, bite. That was the only word I got. The rest I had just come from Ireland thinking I had picked up some dialects. I got to Newfoundland, forget it. I couldn't get it.
The first day or two was him trying to figure out what the hell we were saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, enjoy your night on Broadway.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thanks again.
So, people are getting cold here, Ariana. It's Newfoundland weather. We're waiting to see if Brooke Shields is going to show up.
Yeah, Brooke Shields is on the celebrity guest list. Victor Garber,
that's right, who has a connection to Newfoundland, of course, through Republic of Doyle.
Yep. So we're waiting. I haven't seen them. They may have slipped by while we were speaking to the real celebs, the Ganderites. But and there's Oz Fudge over there as well. Oz, of course.
I'm going to grab Oz, I think. Oh, no, I'm not. He ran away. He's so cold. Today, Ariana and Daryl and I had to buy long johns. And we're in New York City, and we had to buy long johns.
Because I thought that it would be really warm in New York. Because it was really warm in New York. I want to say it's windy, but I'm not going to say it because
of yesterday in
Yes.
St. John's. Yes.
But it is pretty chilly. So, yeah, the red carpet that is actually not red, but they call it a red carpet all the same, is clearing out a little bit, and the show is supposed to start. But this is just the start of the excitement for Come From Away, because, as most of you have heard, Justin Trudeau is coming to the show on Wednesday.
That's right, and we're going to be here to cover that. And tomorrow we're going to live stream an interview with Patrina Bromley, who is the Newfoundlander in the show. We're going to meet her at the Algonquin Hotel, the storied Algonquin Hotel. Yes, it's going to be exciting, everybody.
Yeah, that's why they're clapping.
And we're going to have an interview with her for Here and Now. So if you want to hear about Patrina's amazing journey as a Newfoundland actor to Broadway, tune in to Here and Now tomorrow.
And actually, what's incredible about the show is that Patrina is not the only Newfoundlander involved in Come From Away, right?
She's the only actor.
She's the only actor, but we also have
Romano,
who's
the percussionist, who's a man of mystery. I haven't seen him yet,
Romano
but
Danilo,
he's here.
And we have spoken to him at some point, but yes, he is also in the show, so that's pretty neat. There are a lot of Newfoundland connections in Come From Away, not just the story, but also people who you can see up on stage.
And the music is awesome. It's a real Newfoundland trad rock beat, and was number 3 on iTunes worldwide yesterday.
Yeah, and I've been seeing people download it constantly. I'm seeing reviews. So yeah, it seems like, and this is the point now. Well, tomorrow when we wake up, we'll start to read the reviews. So this is the point where you're really going to see what people think of the show. Because
that's right. Because
up until now, of course, it was really well received in other parts of the States, in Toronto, and of course that's what sent it here, but these are the heavy hitters.
These are the heavy hitting reviews, and the way it works on Broadway is that they're embargoed until the curtain goes up tonight. So we'll actually get to read them this evening, and they'll still get to make their debut on Broadway, and the reviews will come tomorrow.
Exactly. So what we'll do is we'll get you to take a look at some of the scenes that are happening behind us, and we'll see if we can find some more people to talk to.
This will run for years. This is an open-ended show. So this will run for as long as they want to run it. Some of the producers on this show producing this show called Death, which none of us knew what it was going to be like, and next week was the biggest hits on Broadway. So there's a lot of great money behind this show. There's a lot of this show and nurtured this show.
Okay, so I'm here with Michael Schulman from The New Yorker.
That's right.
My favorite magazine.
Oh, thank you so much.
Are you doing an article on the show?
I am. I've been spending the day with Mayor Claude Elliott of Gander. He's a really nice guy.
He's a nice guy. He's a charming guy.
Yeah.
So, did you know about this story of Gander and the post 9/11?
No, I saw the show in previews a few weeks ago, and that was the first I knew of it. I'm a native New Yorker, and obviously we think we know everything about what happened on 9/11, but this is such a fascinating, heartwarming side of the story that I had never heard of before.
Well, how do you think New Yorkers are going to approach this, given how deeply they still feel, obviously, what happened during 9/11?
I think it's great. I think, obviously, New Yorkers, that day holds a special place for us, and, especially people who were here. And I think this just allows people to revisit it in a different way. And I actually felt that even more than that, just, given what's been going on in the country the last couple months and the sort of division in the country, just to see a story of people reaching out and helping each other and being neighborly and kind, I just felt it had so much resonance for the world we're living in now.
When you stand in Times Square, you see all those billboards and Disney and this and that and all those shows, and this is a show about human kindness. Like, what are the chances it's going to survive on Broadway?
Well, Canadians are really nice, I'm told, so
And Newfoundlanders are even nicer.
Yeah, I bet. Well, judging from Mayor Elliott, absolutely.
Well, you'll have to come to Newfoundland to really write your article. You know, you'll have to do a little more research.
I would love to. Yeah. Mayor Elliott has already offered for me to stay at his place, and I just met him this morning. We went to the top of the rock, you know, where you can see everything from the top of the Rockefeller Center.
Yeah.
And I pointed out. He asked me, where did Sully land the plane? So I showed him where the Hudson is.
Yeah. But no, seriously, going back to my question, this is such a sort of modest show. It is heartwarming, and you leave the theater feeling so great. The music's great. But what are its chances of surviving in this hyped up kind of Broadway world?
Well, given from what I've heard, you know, sort of word of mouth, it's a show that people really, really respond to. And I think, you know, there's a lot of shows on I cover theater for The New Yorker, and there's a lot of shows with big stars, things that, you know, people down the block. You have Hello Dolly with
Bette Midler.
Bette Midler. So a lot of shows have a lot of big stars in them, or they're familiar musicals that people know already. But I think for a new musical like this, you know, it's a bit of an uphill battle. But if people respond to it and love it and feel moved by it, then that's a huge part of the battle. And you know, the Broadway audiences are not just New Yorkers; they're people from around the world. And this is really a story about the global community.
That's true. Good point.
Thank you so much. Thank you
I know
so
you're
much.
not used to being interviewed. You prefer to ask the
my
questions,
pleasure.
I'm sure.
My pleasure. Very nice to meet
Thank you.
Thanks.
So we're looking at Emily Paget there at the Come From Away backdrop. Some of the stars that have been invited to this party, this 5-star party, are here. Shivering. She's on Broadway.
Yeah. She's an actress and a singer. She is one of many people, including Brooke Shields and Victor Garber, who are expected to come to the red carpet here tonight.
Going live before going live. Live for Broadway. All of our notes are right. You count us down. We are back on the red carpet, live from Come From Away, and I'm here with two of my favorite people, Paget and Josh Young.
It wasn't this cold.
It's wild.
It's crazy. I think it's because they're doing a show about Canada. I think they made this happen.
Okay, guys, so if you're just tuning in, you are watching scenes from the Broadway opening night of Come From Away, but we do have to take a break because our battery is dying, so do stay tuned, and if you are looking for more, you can always check out our website, cbc.ca/NL.